Hello, everyone. Welcome in. You are here with Crime Time Buzz this evening. Thank you for being here. We are going to be discussing Sebastian Rogers, who is still missing out of Hendersonville, Tennessee. And we are going to be talking about cars, lights, and lies tonight. We need to get everything out there in the public so everyone is aware of what is going on and bring Sebastian home. If we have to say it over and over and over again, we will. He deserves it. I want to thank you all for being here this evening. Welcome in, welcome back. Panda Bear's mom, Rusty Pipes, Charlene McPike, good to see you. Be kind to everyone. Thank you for being here. Maud, hi, Robin. Hello, hello. Hi, Elizabeth Carney. How are you? Hi, Michelle. Good to see you. Hey, Prayer Warrior, our new member. Thank you so much, my friend. Welcome into the family. We are one big happy family here. Hey, Butterfly Girl and Cece and Minnie. You take care of your eyes. Hi, Show Poodles. And hey, Jilly B. Everyone else coming in, hello to you. I am going to begin today with a song that was written for Sebastian by a beautiful person, beautiful YouTuber named Seashore Annie. And I want to give her full credit. Minnie or Mods, any of you, could you please drop Seashore Annie's channel in the chat? She has an entire Sebastian's playlist. They're beautiful songs. And I do want to begin today with one of them. Oops, sorry, y'all. I do want to begin with one of them that I find just as special as the others, but pertinent for tonight. Again, credit to Seashore Annie. The mods will, hi, Joanne. The mods, hi, Lauren, Christy, and Mama, Marie, Selena. The mods will definitely drop this into the chat, the link, and you can see here it's Seashore Annie. Go sub up. She's got beautiful music, and there's one's an hour of songs for Sebastian. Let me make sure you're seeing it. Okay. Hello, Tammy. Hello, everyone coming in. We are starting with a song for Sebastian to remember why we're here. Some of the topics we're having to talk about lately are about covering up or stories not lining up and lights and cars and 3 a.m. sedans and all of the above. And I want to make sure tonight we begin with our eyes on Sebastian. Sebastian Rogers is still not home. This is credit to Seashore Annie. Thank you, Annie.
You were there, I needed you. Oh, mama, I needed you. I needed you. The smile stopped, the anger grew. No, no, mama, I needed you. I needed you. It's been 2 years since I felt your love. Why, mama, I needed you. I needed you. The silent cries into my pillow at night, the ache in my heart, it just wasn't right. Did I let you down? Can I fix it now? Please, mama, I need you. I need you. couldn't tell about the hell. I kept it in, it was a sin. Who's crying now, mama? I needed you. I need you. It's been 2 years since I felt your love. Why, mama? I needed you. I needed you.
And that is Seashore Annie, and thank you so much for dropping the link, Be Kind. Beautiful song. Yes, brought me to tears no matter how many times I listened to it. But it's just so important, I think, right now to make sure we're beginning with our eyes on Sebastian, because that's why we're all here. Sebastian's the reason we're together. Sebastian's the reason Sebastian's army is here. Sebastian's tragedy is why we are all gathered. And I'm sorry, I'm emotional after that song, but we need to bring him home. And a lot of us are confused about why there hasn't been more transparency. Not that we're owed anything, but I think the Father is. Why there's things that appear in images that are baffling, befuddling, and quite frankly, scary. Why we don't hear from law enforcement for this beautiful young man. Unless it's to say, no, that doesn't matter, or that doesn't count, or that's not what you think it is, or that's already been ruled out. Why is it that we're hearing some of you are hearing things like, that's not the kind of tip we need. We're not looking for that. What are they looking for? Why doesn't the public know? We don't have to know everything. But it would be nice to hear maybe a theory. Does Sumner County have a maniac kidnapping children out of the bedrooms? I don't think so. I hope not, because they've never warned them. But there's a lot. I showed in the thumbnail here, porch light on, and I did that because KP, the mother of Sebastian, who is soon to be 17 in December and was 15 when he was reported missing in February of 26th of 2024. The night Sebastian went missing, his house was dark, Operation Blackout. But many times since, people have driven by and snapped photos when they are home with the porch light on. I think there's so many little pieces that they thought were so irrelevant that wouldn't set off alarms. I don't know. I'm not accusing anyone, but I'm saying, mom hasn't told the same rendition of what happened that night. Not one time has it matched. And our dear Peter Hyatt, rest in peace, he said the key is with mom. And I agree. And I do believe Sumner County is showing us the key is with mom. And showing us they have not left the home yet. Because they've never mentioned any people of interest. They've never rolled mom out. Mom was the last one to see him. They've never brought forth another suspect. There's been no composite of someone else. No profiler has provided what this person would be like. It's almost like they don't need it, right? In my opinion, which all of this is alleged. No one is being accused. We are just talking about some oddities in the behavior of Sebastian Rogers' mother, law enforcement, and some other things going on. Cars pulling in at 3 a.m., people in green hoodies standing by the car the last time Sebastian was ever seen. Lights in the yard the night he disappeared. His backyard, by the way, and a 3 a.m. sedan. But law enforcement, as much as your jaw is on the floor, if you are new to the case hearing that, yes. The night this teenager went missing, by his car the last time he was seen, by his car at Texas Roadhouse was a stranger, allegedly with a green hoodie, who stood there for over a minute waiting for he and his mother to come out, interacted with his mother, and Sebastian was never seen again in public. Then, hours later, in the middle of the night, they were looking at footage at the command center. A dark sedan goes up Kellen, turns around, lets people off by Chris Carr's house. Remember we talked about that a few months ago? Flashlights, they get out, they drive to the corner. About then, that's when they're picked up on the camera footage also, right there at that corner. We see flashlights moving across. All in the night, that's right. I'm sure your jaw is on the floor if you're new to this case. But none of it is relevant according to law enforcement. Now, law enforcement has stated that there is no crime, no evidence of foul play, no evidence, they haven't ruled it out, but there's no evidence of foul play, although months ago, about within 2 weeks, a week or so, March 7th, they had already submitted a probable cause affidavit, sworn before a judge that, yes, we need to search the landfill in Kentucky. They have to swear under oath that they believe a crime has been committed there, is going to be committed there, or a crime has been committed and something related to that crime is there. It's not just it's a hunch. That's not how it works. So that is proof of foul play because he was deemed by his mother, reported a runaway. And they ended up the next day filing an Amber Alert and days later searching a landfill in which dogs hit, and a fleet trash company claims to have seen them find some things of Sebastian's in a bag. We can't verify that. I have not verified that. So there's a lot that has been going on that just makes you scratch your head, right? Sonny Weatherford said. And that article was buried and replaced with nothing was found. But we found that article where he says, the journalist says, Sonny said, what they found, they'll go analyze, I'm paraphrasing, and then decide if they have to come back to the landfill. They found something. And then he talked about that he didn't think he wasn't sure that it was a recovery quite yet, but in a few days, if they haven't found something, it may be. And then Sonny passed away in August, suddenly slipped to his death. So let's go ahead and get started. I just wanted to make sure we remembered we're here. I know we all do. We're Sebastian's army, but this young man is still missing. And maybe it's games and people playing games and dressing up and making biscuit jokes, like this sheriff is doing now. Eat a biscuit. No one's arrested mid-biscuit. If you're thinking of committing a crime, eat a biscuit. No one's arrested mid-biscuit. Now it's jokes, and in my opinion, it's distasteful when you have a child missing. And you're not speaking of a child, but you're cracking jokes. But that's just me. Let's go ahead. We have a good show ahead of us tonight. Let me make sure my computer's got enough charge. It sure does. Okay. Cars, lights, and lies. Why are porch lights on when it was Operation Blackout? And I'm going to apologize to you guys. It's on a slideshow again. So one thing I want that I caught in the press conference, and when I say the press conference, we know I mean the April 2nd one, 2024. There have been no others. I noticed when Craddock was asked in the questions, Sheriff Craddock was not sheriff at the time, was lead detective in the case. Sonny Weatherford was sheriff in April of 2024. Then in August, slipped and fell and passed away. Eric Craddock became sheriff. Brandon Carter went to lead detective of the case. But when he was asked at this April 2nd press conference, has there been any footage or anything that of Sebastian? And Eric or Craddock said, not that's led to him. So we're going to listen to the questions a little bit. I thought that was really interesting, and I wanted you to hear that. And I also wanted you to hear his answer to about United Cajun Navy Army when they were there searching and being threatened. He was asked about it by the media. Now, here we are. He's doing a press conference. The media is standing in front of him that knows United Cajun Navy had received death threats. It's been reported. It's been in the Tennessean. It's been on advertised on YouTube, not advertised, but it was out there. And the next day he's in a press conference and says, when they ask him about it, because the media knows, social media knows, we knew, people were talking about it. When he's asked about it in the press conference, he says, well, they would have to call me, let me know. It even says in the article from the day before, law enforcement knew and was looking into it or working with it. Why is he not? He seems to want to stand before everyone and say, none of this matters. None of this is going on, even when we see it going on. Even when people are going through it, he's saying it's what. And that's another thing that's really interesting. If you talk to any officer, detective, whatever, and you say to them, if you knew of a crime that was going on and people being threatened and were sheriff or that's in your jurisdiction, would you just turn your back and say, well, they got to come to me? Or would you go investigate? Well, here's interesting. If you go investigate, you may find the people who are responsible for the missing child because they would be ones who would be interested in keeping people from searching, or you may find someone who is helping the very perpetrators of the crime. So it's shocking, jaw on the floor drop, that he was not interested to track those people down and say, what are you doing? First of all, people in my city are going to be safe, my county. And second of all, why are you trying to discourage people from finding Sebastian? Tell me what your motive is. But there's not that curiosity. There's not that drive. He's stumped, he says. There's no evidence of foul play. You can't rule it out. But he can't rule it out. Yet the month before, they had enough probable cause to prove a crime was committed to get a search warrant to search the landfill, a sworn oath before a judge. But let's go ahead and listen to him at the press conference. And here's what I'm going to well, first I'm going to show you the Facebook article. Sorry, I didn't want it to be on a slideshow. Forgive me. Okay. So here we are. Now it's not going to work for me, right? Okay. I knew it. Here, we'll play this. Oh my goodness. Hold on, y'all. Sorry. Technical difficulties. First of all, we'll do this. This is March 25th. Okay. We'll just have to do it like this. I'll share the tab this way. Sorry, my little slideshow isn't what I would hope right now. United Cajun Navy needs volunteers to assist in Sebastian Rogers' search. This was March 25th, 2024, announcing that they're going to be searching and needed volunteers to help. They had helped in the Riley Strain disappearance in Nashville. Remember the college student who was out at the bars with his fraternity brothers and disappeared, later found in the river? The name starts with a C. For some reason, it's evading my mind, but he was found in the river in Nashville. And then they came over, since it was so close, and began to help find Sebastian Rogers, and they are announcing for volunteers here. And that is on March the 25th. Then what we have is let me share this one with you. United Cajun Navy said a group which says it's received, this is April 1st now, April 1st, credit to the Tennessean, a group which says it received death threats over its involvement in the case of missing Tennessee teenager Sebastian Rogers, says it is still working on the case despite halting searches. In an interview with the Independent on Monday, can you guys hear me? Okay. Just make sure you can hear me. Hi, everyone. Yes, United Cajun Navy. And they received, so on March 25th, they announced that they were going to be out searching and that they needed volunteers. April 1st, it's in the Tennessean that they received D threats. Let me get back to it. So they're saying that the threats were made to the organization's members were much louder in volume than they've ever known before. In fact, we've never had this situation occur before, Mr. LaFon said after United Cajun Navy announced it was stopping its search for the 15-year-old in Hendersonville on Friday. Many people, you just don't see people helping to find a child and others trying to stop it. And I think that's going to be something that really is really brought forth in trial. I really do. That's going to be something that is going to be definitely, it should have been investigated every time there was a threat. Well, they've got to come to me, right? So let's go ahead and play that. So you see it right there. Let me show you this part too, where it says, let's see here. Mr. LaFon says law enforcement was now dealing with the threats, that the United Cajun Navy was now involved in Sebastian's case privately, working with his family. So now this is April 1st. They say law enforcement is working on it, right? Okay. Now we are going to go to, sorry, I've left my notes. 1 second. 10:52, hold on. We are going to listen to the questions on the press conference because I want you to hear. I want to make sure you can hear it though, okay? So please, as soon as please put a 1 once I start playing this so I know you can hear this. Okay. And I thought it was about 10. Okay. Okay. but yet we just watched. Oh, you couldn't hear it? Did it get any better? Oh, goodness. Okay. You didn't hear it. Okay, gotcha. Hold on. Let me go back. Let me see what's going on. Sorry, my friends. Is that better? Sorry, hold on.
And keep Sebastian's face out there. It's my hope that one day somebody
Better?
sees something and calls in and this case breaks wide open and we find Sebastian.
They claim they've received threats. To your knowledge, have they filed any police reports or reports to the sheriff's department?
Okay, I hear you
Any
guys.
alleged threats?
No, sir.
I'm gonna stop it real quick. It's weird. Hmm. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. I don't know why that's happening periodically. I was able to fix it the other day when we were on, but I don't know why it is happening. So I will have to look into that. So basically, what he's saying, and I'd love to play this one now, I hope. This is showing on April 1st right here that, let me share the screen. I hope we have some audio here. Hold on. Not all technical difficulties, right? Um, See, United Cajun Navy calls off the search for Sebastian Rogers after receiving threats, and that's WSMV4, and that was from April 1st. So, question. Sorry, the technology's throwing me off a little bit, you all. That's not honest that they didn't know. They knew April 1st. The article in the Independent, sorry, it's the Independent, not the Tennessean, says that they reported it to police. Why is it Mr. Craddock wants to say he knows nothing about things? Oh, they'll have to come to me. But even more, in a case where you have a missing child, you would want to race there and say, oh my gosh, why are you doing this? What is your motivation? Do you have any knowledge, any information? I want to bring you in and talk to you. Because it could be, normally, it's so unusual that people are threatening the lives of people trying to help find a child that you can only ask, what is their motivation, right? Okay. And that doesn't mean, that means if you're a YouTuber, if you're a friend of the families, if you're a relative of the families, it's illegal to threaten people. March 25th. So again, cars, lights, and lies. Why is the porch light on when she said so normal that they just didn't have their porch light on that night? That wasn't their normal. Their normal is when people drive by, the porch light's on when they're home. Cars. Why was there a 3 a.m. sedan? Why was there someone with a green hoodie by the car? Why every time something is leaked that shows foul play, is it immediately debunked? And we are going to go over that. Why, when we have threats to the United Cajun Navy and they have notified law enforcement, the next day do we have the lead detective, Eric Craddock, at the time stand there and say they'll just have to notify us, let us know? Why isn't he curious that people are being threatened who are searching? Why doesn't he want that curiosity to possibly lead him to Sebastian? I'm just asking questions that I think a lot of us are asking. And people who are listening say, well, why do people keep thinking he's hiding things? Only because of this kind of stuff. And yes, I see I spelled Cajun wrong everywhere. Excuse me. But March 25th, 2024, United Cajun Navy posts on Facebook that they're going to search for Sebastian. They've alerted the people who are doing the death threats who come out and start threatening their lives. By April 1st, they have pulled back. They are not going to do public searches because they've received death threats and notified law enforcement. The media knows about it. Social media knows about it. The locals know about it. We know about it. But yet when the lead detective is asked in the next day, even the article says law enforcement's working on it. They even asked TBI for a comment. But the next day, Eric Craddock says, well, they'll just have to call me and let me know, let me know. Where's the curiosity? Where's those investigative skills, those boots on the ground, wanting to solve, wanting to know? Why does Craddock deflect from all occurring before everyone else's eyes, in my opinion? Sorry, guys, let me mute this. Oh, no, it's going to happen again. I forgot to mute that on my... It's just very frustrating. That's a huge investigative lead, someone providing threats. And if you could get to the bottom of it, if you would even contact the people who were receiving threats, if that would even happen, and find out who's behind them, maybe could have found out who was behind this vanishing. And keep the community safe. But is the community safe? Since, as one of the commissioners said, it wasn't random. It was targeted at Sebastian because a 3 a.m. sedan pulled up, dark sedan. People got out with flashlights and he was taken. I'm paraphrasing. He won't call in the marshals. Some of you think it's embarrassment, ego. My opinion, it's because they will find Sebastian, like we talked about in today's live. And Sebastian, regardless if it's rescue or recovery, go watch that live. He will tell a story. Either his remains will or his voice will. And there's a story that is wanting to be not told. And it's going to be, we don't know what it is, but people are wanting us not to believe the things that are there. Neighbors who are seeing things on their footage saying, oh my goodness, I see someone, they're carrying something between the houses, and being told, you don't see that. Now that's odd, y'all. Okay. That's really odd, in my opinion. Thank you, Prayer Warrior, for your support. Welcome in. That's really odd. Okay. To tell people they're not seeing what they're seeing. But they have the footage. So that was the April 2nd press conference that you couldn't hear. And I will get to the bottom of why when I share my screen, you're not hearing the sound. But, and thank you for letting me know and for your patience. Once August 24, let's talk about this. February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Okay, August of 2024. Sonny Weatherford, may he rest in peace, slips suddenly, falls to his death. That moves up the lead detective, Eric Craddock, to sheriff, and Brandon Carter, who Chris Proudfoot calls on a first-name basis, to lead detective. What happens from this point on is crickets. September, October, November, December go by. Or we get to December. And the only reason we hear something is because Dog the Bounty Hunter's involved now. So, Sonny passes away in August, and the new sheriff, there's nothing. Nothing. Prior to that, barely nothing. But when the lights video came out, that was debunked as trash trucks. Okay, now the FBI has contradicted that and said it's a reflection from someone else's truck light. And we're going to hit that on a, my goodness, we will hit that as well. I know many of you are seeing some things in the images that we were talking about today via email. And yes, we are identifying this certain specifics, and we'll bring even more to you because we're seeing some more images in there. Some of you even thinking some of the people we might be seeing are in uniform. I don't know what kind of uniform. I have no idea, but we've been looking into it. So I digress. Let's move on. I'll bring it to you as soon as we're ready. So something happens to Sonny. Sonny passes away. He has a aneurysm, I think it was, from his fall. Okay. A brain aneurysm, and he's cremated and no autopsy. And then we have a new sheriff in town. And since then, the case has gone dark, cold, and really you feel shamed if you call and ask or walk in to talk about it. And that is, I speak from my personal experience and others that have shared it with me. But in December, 4 months after Sonny passed away, rest in peace, when Dog the Bounty Hunter's team had joined, Eric Craddock got on TV and did an interview saying he was going to work with the father. They were going to be working together. Okay? And that he had some evidence. In that interview, he said they had evidence, but he couldn't discuss it. Okay? Because all along, what has he said? Foul play. There's nothing to prove foul play. I've got nothing to prove against it. Basically, I'm stumped, guys. Sorry. But I'm not going to do press conferences. I'm not going to raise awareness. I'm not going to put out a composite. I'm not going to get a profiler to help give us a profile of the personality, the hobbies, the descriptions, what we might be looking for in a person who would be doing this. I'm just going to go silent, allegedly. Until Dog and them came in and scared him a little bit, in my opinion. And he said, okay, I'll work with you. And yes, I've got evidence. Okay. Then Green Hoodie. Green Hoodie is seen by Texas Roadhouse footage that Dog's team got because Brandon Carter and Eric Craddock did not get the footage from there. Brandon Carter left his card and then never went back and never returned their calls, but they preserved the footage because of what they knew a child had gone missing in their restaurant. I'm going to put it that way. Okay. And they preserved it and they were contacted, and after going through the right channels, chain of command, Dog and his team were given it. And Dog and his team worked for the father, Seth Rogers. Yes, Sebastian's mother is alive. I'm seriously, that's a question I keep getting. Sebastian Rogers does have a mother, a biological mother. They think Seth's a widower. Okay. So then there's a Green Hoodie. We're talking about the silence. Green Hoodie, and out comes Craddock. Oh, within minutes, hours. Oh my goodness, I found this Green Hoodie person who lurked around the car the last time the child was ever seen, and we never noticed or spoke of it or asked the public to help us identify this person. But within such a short amount of time of that being released, we have not only identified that person, we've located that person, we've interviewed that person, and by golly, that person is not the same, is not have anything to do with it. And then the FBI later adds, and they even had on the same sweatshirt. I'm dumbfounded, but I'm not going to say anything. Gotta love our feds, right? I gotta hope that was just, okay, let's keep going. We need them in this case, and I want them in this case. Okay, so then they came out. Then again, down the road, we get these images that you're looking at surfacing in video and still shots of coming between the yards carrying something. See the black blob? That's what the neighbor was talking about, that the neighbor never saw. Okay. And as soon as that comes out, we hear again from law enforcement. This time, I believe it was Brandon Carter saying, oh, well, that happened in the wee hours of the 26th. And basically, Sebastian was last seen on the 25th. All the flyers are wrong. He wasn't seen on the 26th because this was leaked, in my opinion. So they wanted us to think that the reason they had last seen date on the 26th was not because of this. They weren't expecting it to be a leak. But everything that's leaked, they've come out and debunked. but they say they have nothing to point to foul play. All of this points to foul play. It's cars, it's lights, it's green hoodies, it's handoffs, it's exchanges, it's being at storage units allegedly before the markets even open, the general markets open. I was searching the high school for an entire year, and suddenly in a Dateline interview it changes. By the time I got there, they told me to turn around. Everything changing. Bedtime is gone from midnight to 11 to 10 to shortly after. The phone call went from over 3 hours to 2:45 to, according to Brandon, now about 2 hours. Nothing stays the same because it's not the truth, my friends. And if you go to your local law enforcement, and I challenge you to, I challenge you to say there was a young man who went missing. Just tell him the generalities. There's a young man who went missing. The last time he was seen was at the Texas Roadhouse. There was someone in a green hoodie who lurked around his car for over a minute and a half. And when the mother came out, there was an exchange. That was the last time the child was ever seen. There were flashlights in his backyard that night. A 3 a.m. sedan was seen, and images going through, carrying something through that backyard, and an audio, which I'm going to play for you. So stick with us. I've got the audio tonight. If you told law enforcement that, don't tell them where it is, don't tell them the case, say, what do you think? An Amber Alert was sounded, but no vehicle description given. They say there's no foul play, but all of this has been leaked. Or don't even tell them that part. Just tell them what you have, and get their opinion. They'll say, well, something nefarious was going on, whatever. There's just a lot of things that it's just a shocking collaboration of crap. Excuse the, I mean, I didn't write that in my script. So we are going to watch a little bit of our video that we did a while ago, watching Green Hoodie at the car. We don't need sound on here. So I don't know. We don't need the sound really, but let me know if we have it. Let me go back. Let me know just so I can test the sound. I wonder if it's because it's in slideshow mode.
Meeting notes and let ClickUp AI Note Taker do it for you. It allows you to focus on your meetings, not your notes.
Okay, so this is full credit. Let's see. You see green for the weight, roughhousing.
Towards Katie. So I don't know if she's talking to him about something.
And it is absolutely wonderful.
You
Mom
hearing
it
it?
up.
Oh, good.
Good to see
That's
you.
weird. I don't know why there's
Good to see you in here. Thank you for
full credit.
being here. Vale. Everyone, thank you so much. So let's go ahead without further ado. Put on your glasses, get your phone. The reason I have the sound off is because I wanted to be able to talk to you all as well. She also goes, I want to show you something here, because we are going to get down here to where we're looking at. Is this the one? Yes. Okay. Yes, it is. Okay. Just wanted to make sure that this was what we were looking for. Okay. So right here, it's 6:25 p.m. Thank you, Minnie. We see the car pulling away at this point. Thank you. Be kind. Buzz your fingers over to thumbs up and share. Thank you. And thank you,
so
sweetie.
that everyone can see.
I'll pull on.
But this is pretty interesting
There's
because here we have Sebastian. He's seated on this side, and I can kind of see Katie through the front windshield. But Sebastian, this white part is his neck, and I can kind of see his ear here. And this right here is the back of Sebastian's head, right on the side here. Now, for some reason, he has his head turned all the way, and he is actually looking over at Katie. So I don't know if she's talking to him about something, if he's asking her something, but this is right after the point when Katie is here with the green hoodie person. And we're also going to see the person in the green hoodie on the inside of the restaurant as well. So there's actually quite a lot that we do get to see in these videos. One of the things that I noticed, these videos come
And does any
closer look. At this point, we do have a response from the sheriff's office, which we're going to look at as well.
This is one where the faces around aren't blurred. This is my video, but I used Eden Vale's footage, so credit to Eden Vale. And I don't know, I've wondered what they're talking about too. Now, where's all the jokes, the smiling? I remember later on, all the images are blurred, so we don't get to see what's really going on, who's around him.
So wait, what's the catch?
Oh, sorry.
That's what most people
There's
ask
the
when they hear about Rocky Mountain
Hey,
Power's new Watt Smart incentive.
Sorry,
Because getting paid thousands of dollars.
Now, if you see something, put Buzz in all caps, and I can go back to it. We are watching this in our Cars, Lights, and Lies video today. I just want you to know that Sumner County did not go get this footage. And then they immediately cleared Green Hoodie. And we are going to be watching Green Hoodie approaching the car and all of that in this footage. And this is the footage, I believe, that I shared with you where you can get some really good screenshots of Green Hoodie. Hoodie's right here. Okay, came out from back here, comes forward. See how Green Hoodie is right in front of this handicap? Green Hoodie does not keep going straight to get into the restaurant. Green Hoodie veers and comes around and disappears in between the two cars and remains there until after Sebastian and KP come out. Look at the body frame. Come on, here we go. In my opinion, I think when they were backing out and Sebastian was looking, like it looked like he was looking at KB, I think. Okay, the people coming out over here. Sebastian's car's still right here. It's next. This is an open area still for anyone to walk through who would want to get through. Here comes Green Hoodie. Look at the frame. Look at the body. Very baggy clothes. You are correct. Here's KP's car. Here is the handicap that Green Hoodie could go right through, but chooses to go around and stand on the other side of the car. There's Green Hoodie too. Right here is Green Hoodie. And again, this is full credit to Eden Vale, and I'm using the footage because of, okay, see how Green Hoodie, she could have come down this way, but veers, watch. Makes a concerted effort not to go down that handicap way. Oh, it's going to show it again. And I'm using the footage because of the view of Green Hoodie in between the cars when we get there. And it's coming. As far as I know, Taurus CP does not have a white truck. Chris Carr has a white Ford truck. Gypsy, someone says, Bubbly says the car has the windows open and green hoodie is talking to them. Ellie said it was a guy, but it's a girl.
Uh-huh.
Bubbly, can you clarify what car you see? Okay, this is what I want you to see. This is not CP, although it looks like him. It was my mistake and someone else's mistake, but we saw other views. Now, this is where green hoodie is right now. See green hoodie? Hold on. I want to take that back for you for a second. Okay, you can see green hoodie. That's why I'm going to use this one. No, I'll show you as soon as the words come. There is green hoodie right there. You can see green hoodie moving. See the strings of the shirt, sweatshirt? Watch right there. There's green hoodie. See them? Okay, that's her arrow moving right now. Green hoodie's right here. You can see part of the sweatshirt. See green hoodie just move forward? Did you see that? Let me put that right back for you. See green hoodie moving right there? I'm going to do it again. Watch green hoodie moving up here in the corner, up here at the top. See that? They're standing there moving around. Okay, here you go. There's KP. Sebastian's looking. And here's green hoodie. Green hoodie, KP. KP's got her hand out. Sebastian's looking that way. Did you just see that? Okay. I want you to see if you see an exchange. Watch for an exchange or anything if you see it. See the hands? And the reason I was showing that is because that is now law enforcement shortly after this came out, located green hoodie. This was in December, so we were 10 months down the road. They located immediately green hoodie and cleared green hoodie. The reason that's important is that has been the case with everything that has come out or been leaked, is it has all been debunked or cleared, even though we are looking at them with our own eyes. Footage we can't be fooled. We're not looking at the footage we're looking at, right? Just like the 3 a.m. car. It's there. Let's go back now. Let's go back to this slideshow here. The flashlight video, the same thing. Here's the flashlight video. Here's the flashlight video. You have one subject coming from the home. Now, there is only one person who admitted to being in the home with Sebastian. And because that subject in the flashlight goes back to the home, we assume it's not Sebastian because he's missing and KP, the mother, is the one who's in the home. So she would be the only one who could go back to the home unless she saw someone else in the home. Which she claims the doors were locked when she went to sleep and woke up and no one else was there. Now, Caroline, this is a great comment. Sebastian holding his ears, exiting the car was the clue he heard CP motorcycle on mom's earpiece, or they were talking on speaker. That could be. I have heard, I'm just showing you the flashlights because if one we see goes back to the home, there was one person whose alibi is I was at that home alone night and morning. So that is the person who runs back then, if indeed that's what we're seeing. I've heard several people say a couple of people showed up on motorcycles. We thought someone in a Crane sweatshirt. Some of you thought his buddy from the Pig Fest was there. There's a lot of what we think we see. Whispering said, Whispering, email me that comment and I will explain to you why it's not. Okay, my friend? If you could email me, I'll explain you. If you're saying what I think you're saying, but I don't want to say it out loud. So let's keep going. So these came out and were said to be trash trucks, four-wheeling in their backyards, which is so ironic because as a parent, if my child is missing and the last chore I had my child do was take the trash to the end of the driveway and there's flashlights in my backyard the night I don't find my child home, they can't tell me it's a trash truck because I know it's not. Or I'd be having my child take the trash to the back of the house. And I would be very upset about that. Now, what you're about to hear is audio allegedly from outside Sebastian's home that night when the 3 a.m. sedan had pulled up. They watched this at the command center day one. They saw the 306, well, they saw it a little bit before 3 a.m. I want to say 2:59, but don't quote me. Go up Kellen, turn around, come back, drop people off out kind of by Chris Carr's house, the Hendersonville cop, and then also move to the corner there. Then eventually moving on to forward onto Stafford, which is what set the motion lights off and the cameras. The motion lights off. And then they backed up onto Kellen and left. After all the flashlight activity that we just watched. This is audio allegedly during that time. Now, Chris Carr, the Hendersonville cop, I do know my good sources tell me he has 7 cameras. They don't know our fabulous system, not only with night vision, but also audio. So his could be where this was captured from, but it is from outside of Sebastian's home. And I can play it a few times for you. Hey, Little Red. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Duh. Hold on. Sorry. I know what I got to do. This one. Because we're having trouble. I have it here. I will just play it here from my phone. I'll play it again. One more time. Okay. So that's creepy, right? I know, Matt, and I had one of you all gave it to a friend who what used to be a detective who cleaned it up and gave a rendition of what you thought they thought the conversation said, and I will have to pull that back up and find that. Um, Wild Lilac, if you're in the bushes, Wild Lilac is asking me, Ellie can't clean that up. Brandon Carter did ask me for that, and I did send that to him back in December of last year. Hello to everyone. I know. I will look for the actual words that the person thought they might be saying. There's 2 renditions. Mine was not my subscriber who had someone look it up or clean it up. They didn't hear watch his head and all of that. They heard more like go home. They heard something about, I believe, take the back roads, something about the prosecutor, something about SIM cards. So I will pull that up for you. I will play it one more time. And then but again, I'm pointing all this out because all of this was going on allegedly the night a child disappeared. That does show foul play. If it's were your child and there was a green hoodie guy near the car the last time you guys were out in public, you get home, there's flashlights in your backyard, there's images carrying a black blob, there's an audio, all alleged. Police have never confirmed any of this. It's all been leaked. And there's a 3 a.m. sedan that they're talking about they saw at the command post. What would you think as a parent? Right? It's too much. It's not a coincidence, in my opinion. Okay. Don't apologize, Titch. Titch said, I remember the prosecutor part, the flashlight, and CP asking if Sebastian was D. I hate that I heard that, but that is what I heard. And KP saying, I love you. Yeah. We're going to pause for 1 second and let's just take a second and listen to the song we just listened to when we started. Okay, I think it's a good one. Hold on. I'm going to keep it muted till I get it. I want you to be able to hear it. So let me make sure we're just going to, with that audio, I think we'll take a little breather for a second and listen to this beautiful song again by our dear friend Seashore Annie, written for Sebastian. That audio is always hard to listen to, no matter how many times I hear it. So let's listen to this song. One, so I know you can hear it.
You were there.
One, so I know you can hear it.
You. Oh, mama, I needed you. I needed you. The smile stopped been 2 years since I felt your love. Why, mama? I needed you. I needed you. The silent cries into my pillow at night. The ache in my heart, it just wasn't right. Did I let you down? Can I fix it now? Please, mama, I need you. I need you. I couldn't tell about the hell. I kept it in. It was a sin. Who's crying now, mama? I needed you. I need you. It's been 2 years since I felt your love. Why, mama? I needed you. I needed you.
That is credit to Seashore Annie with her beautiful songs. Beautiful songs. This is the 3 a.m. Sedan caught in the footage. I wanted to make sure we bring this today, keep our focus on Sebastian. It's hard on our hearts. I know it is. Sometimes it's easier for us to be upset with what's not being done. Sometimes it's easier for us to be outraged by what is and is not happening. Sometimes it's easier for us to be in shock over a non-emotional mother, allegedly in our opinion, living her best life, allegedly in our opinion, so it seems. Lack of being a voice. Sometimes those things are hard for us. And sometimes, though, that's where we go. And I want to make sure tonight that we remember we are here because we together have a common goal, and it is Sebastian Rogers. And he is not being treated fairly, in my opinion, and many of your opinion. There are no sides. There's one road that leads to Sebastian. And if anyone is not wanting to lead to Sebastian, they need to be brought in and questioned as well. I believe, in my opinion, when this is all over, it will be quite a lot of people you might be shocked to see held culpable for one reason or another, whether it's threats, deflection, things like that going on, or actual involvement, knowledge, turning away, helping. I think there's going to be a lot. But I do worry because when you don't have a proper investigation, I'm alleging, the family said no luminol, no fingerprinting, none of that was done, no forensics in the home. And when that kind of stuff happens, you know what that does? It helps the defense for anyone who is going to trial because it's not there. So that's a real disappointment if it's true that that didn't happen. But then again, it could go both ways. We could have the same individual who loves to say, he loves to hear himself talk. He's who I heard say they did none of it. But I know they didn't. Here's your sedan right here. Okay, I know that another creator thinks that what kind of vehicle it is. But why wasn't a description put on the Amber Alert? They were looking at it in the command center day one. Why did CP know the license plate readers were broken and had been for years, but yet doesn't know if they are now? Why isn't it important enough to check back now and see? Oh, that's interesting, right? Also, the volunteer fire department, if they turned, I don't have it in front of me. If they turned left onto Long Hollow Pike from Kellen, they would have passed right by Shackle Island Volunteer Fire Department. Was the car caught on camera if they went that way? Does anyone know if they went left or right? It's in my notes somewhere what someone thought a source had told me. So, Titch just saying something that I want to stop and share with everyone. I'm dreading finding out the truth, but I think we all need to know. The truth is going to be beyond disturbing. Poor Sebastian. Never had a case got me so hooked. I feel like it's personal. I agree. I think it's become personal for many of us because we've seen a lot of things that shouldn't be done. Diana Bond said in her opinion, he knew, for they planned their route depending on the cameras being out. It seems like that, right? He also knew the depth of the retention pond, he said then, but didn't know it now when he was speaking. So why do you keep up on those things around the disappearance, but suddenly that information's not important to you later? It just doesn't make sense. I can't remember left or right either, Nicey Marie, but I do have it in my notes. And I've heard two different things. I've heard there was no plate on the car, and I've heard the plate was covered. Two very different things. Sorry, I have to take a little drink of my soda. Okay, but here's the vehicle. So we know people have seen the footage of the 3 a.m. sedan, of the flashlights. It's been leaked. Those are the times that they've come out. The images in the backyard were leaked. They were even going to be on Nancy Grace, but that got shut down. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. There's so much silence. Until someone says, well, guess what? I'm going to put this out there. Look at the case of Michael Vaughn. Things weren't happening. Brandy, his mother was a little upset, Brandy Neal, so she put out a leaked phone call. She leaked a phone call of the person who's now been arrested, Stacy Wondra, trying to lead police to Michael Vaughn's remains. She leaked it. She wanted answers. And that's why things get leaked. When there need to be answers. And when you put together the things that have been leaked and the only things that have gathered enough, even a ransom didn't get law enforcement to come out and say anything. Even when they said they were going to beat the H out of him, forgive me for saying that, in a hotel in another country, didn't get him to come out. But Green Hoodie got him out. And they knew within minutes who it was, even though they had not gone and gotten the footage. And, there's no 3 a.m. sedan. There's no flashlights. They're reflections now. FBI even contradicted the trash truck theory. Now it's a reflection from a truck headlight. But let's put it together again. Your child is missing. You remember, oh my gosh, when we left the restaurant, that weirdo was standing by the car and tried to hand me something. I'm just pretending she didn't know him because we don't. Okay. Let's just go through it. Okay. Your child's missing. You've got nothing to do with it. You don't need to plead the fifth. You want to help in any way. You'll do anything you can. Your child's not there at 6 a.m. You start thinking, oh man, there was that weirdo hanging out by my car last night. I need to let police know that. Number one. Then you find out flashlights in the backyard are leaked. So you got a weirdo near your car the last time you and your child are out. While you're allegedly sleeping, flashlights are in the backyard. Then you see this right here, a 3 a.m. sedan at the same time of the flashlights, approximately. You hear your neighbor caught a silhouette in your window. You tell your best friend it, but you never go to the public and say, someone took my child. They were in my home. They caught the silhouette in the window. But I digress. Let's not get onto that right now. Okay? But what would you think if it's your child? A weirdo near your car hanging out, veered to go stand by your car instead of using the handicap space that was in front of them, available and wide open. Then there's flashlights in your yard. Well, and then he's gone, and there's a 3 a.m. sedan, and then your child is gone. You put all that together, it makes, think about it. It's nefarious. Something happened. Plus, neighbors' cameras were jammed. So what other person? I don't understand why we're not hearing from her. My gosh, there's a weirdo by my car, flashlights in my backyard, a 3 a.m. sedan. Someone needs to help me find my child. The father we're hearing from, but why not mom? I believe she knew Green Hoodie. I believe there was a handoff and an interaction. I cannot figure out what, and please leave me a comment. I know many of you think it might have been allegedly fentanyl. Many of you feel it could have been the code to the door. Many of you have thought possibly $5,000 to purchase a new passport or birth certificate. We have a lot of suggestions. Anyone can be right. We all could be wrong. Okay? But feel free to leave a comment, be kind about it, and say, in my opinion. But this is a lot. I would be freaking out if all of this had happened around my missing child hours before my child went missing. Absolutely freaking out. There's no freak out, my friends. You would not get through the door in the morning at Sumner County without seeing me every morning. They would be my new job, waiting there to make sure they were looking for my son. That office is paid for by the people. Yet certain people, when they want to talk about Sebastian, are not being welcomed in. Someone said, in my opinion, Green Hoodie is KP's aunt. Could be. Could be. Or her mom, allegedly. Green Hoodie did use the woman's bathroom. We read the redacted. That was in the redacted, correct? Yes, that was in the redacted. That Green Hoodie went into the women's restroom. But there's the sedan. Also, in some of the images, in some of the pictures, it looks like you can see some people. We're working on that right now. If you send me something with people in it, if you could please tell me where you got it from, the name of the video and the timestamp, because I have to be able to go back to the source and see the exact image where you pulled it from for my context, so I have verified what I need to verify, and then listen to what the creator is saying about at that moment, and then I can launch off to what you're telling me. And also, please, if you're willing, because you know I'm not real good at looking at the images and seeing things, circle what you want me to see and let me know what it is that's in the circle or the shape. So I appreciate it. Yes, the Attorney General, it really does need to be involved. But one thing I want to share with you is there is in the Ellen Greenberg case, which I'm going to be covering tomorrow, a teacher who was stabbed, called a homicide over 20 times, some of which were in the back, called a homicide, a meeting behind closed doors with the prosecutors at the DA's office and the medical examiner, among others. Then it was changed to self. How are you going to do that on your back, right? Then it's been 20 some years, by the way, of this going on for Ellen Greenberg, teacher from Pennsylvania. Her parents have spent every penny they have, and they're in their 80s now. It's very sad. Just to fight to have it investigated because they keep going back to self. Over 20 stab wounds. They want to know why it's being covered up, because now the medical examiner, in an affidavit under oath, admitted he was coerced into changing it from homicide to self. Why do the DA's office and them care? Then the DA person, they said they needed immunity. Why would they need immunity from a meeting? Then this month, okay, then they went to court. They said, okay, we're not going to get a jury. We're going to settle. We will investigate the case. So they all left the court, settled, and guess what? They didn't do anything. And now a new medical examiner has come out and said, guess what? She did it to herself. Again, this month. Corruption is real, my friends, and cover-ups happen. And we watched it in Karen Reed trial. We're now seeing it in Ellen Greenberg. And I want to cover the case. It's very interesting, and we can learn from it. Because when Nancy Grace ended her show on that, and I'm going to cover it tomorrow, so join me, please. She said, I never thought I'd say this, but you can't call the police if you've got a tip. You can't call the DA. She says, I never thought I'd ever have to say this, that you just can't call them in this case. And she said, so call the city or the city attorney. And that is, my friends, for that district. It is, let me find his name. Sorry. Robert E. McGuire. I'm sorry, the United States Attorney's Office for Middle Tennessee. His name is Robert McGuire. He is whom you could send things to. And I'm saying that because that's what Nancy Grace instructed people to do for the Ellen Greenberg case, since there seems to be some sort of a cover up or problem with the DA's office or law enforcement. So rather than send it to them, if you have information, she said, send it to the acting United States attorney for that area. And I looked it up, and that is Robert E. McGuire. So let me get you that number. If you have information, that's who we will contact. Okay. There you go. 615-736-5151. Again, his name is, what was it? Robert McGuire. Or USA Tennessee m.webmaster@usdog.gov. Let me put that in the chat. You can contact them. But let's bring some attention. Let's raise our voices to this individual. This individual has only been in office since December of last year. Probably maybe not as aware as he should be of what's going on or not going on. But we need transparency. Seth needs transparency. Sebastian needs to be located. We did a live today. The reason, in my opinion, the marshals are not being called is because they will find him, and then we will know, because Sebastian will tell a story, whether it's rescue and he tells us with his voice who, what, when, where, why, what happened, how it happened, or sadly, he's located in a recovery situation. And like we talked about today in our live, the autopsy and all of that will tell the story. Go to our live today of things that they should and should not see if that were to occur. But we believe that that is why, in my opinion, I believe that's why they're not calling in the marshals, because they'll find him and then we'll know. But cars, lights, lies, green hoodies, all of which put a story together. A person lurking near a child's car hours before, there's lights outside his home. A car pulls up at that same time. People get out with lights outside his home. The car takes off. The child is gone. I'll say it again. They leave the last time he's seen in public. Someone with a green hoodie lurking near his car could have gone many other ways, chose to lurk near the car and wait there. Hours before he went missing, seconds before he was ever seen again. Hours later, a sedan about 258, 259 goes up Kellen, turns around, comes back down, lets people out, goes to the corner, flashlights through we call it the common area, the backyards. One subject comes from the house and goes back. And according to Katie Proudfoot, she was the only one there. So if she's the only one who could have gone there and come back and still been there in the morning, in my opinion. But let's move on. The car takes off. Amber Alert sounded because after watching the command post and the images going through the backyard, and once that was released, the images through the backyard and supposed to be on Nancy Grace, suddenly we have the last seen date wrong. He was last seen on the 25th, not the 26th when those were taken. So those can't be real. You follow me? So we have a story of a green hoodie, flashlights, a sedan, and a child missing. And then law enforcement saying green hoodies, nothing. The flashlights were a trash truck. Never mentioning a sedan, not even using it, the vehicle getting a description to the Amber Alert. Something's very imbalanced here. Something is very imbalanced. but I don't know why. Well, if mom wants to know why my eyes are on her, I'll say it again. You had a green hoodie lurking near your car minutes before your child was ever seen again. Flashlights and a sedan pulling up, flashlights getting out, and your child's gone. Law enforcement has cleared the green hoodie as nonsense, said the flashlights were nonsense, and never has mentioned the sedan nor given a description of it, pretended it did not exist. But that's law enforcement. Why, as a parent, is she not alarmed? Cars, lights, and lies. There may not be, and watch our live from earlier today, because it really is telling, in my opinion, as to why the marshals aren't being called. Because Sebastian will tell a story. Cars, lights, lies, and green hoodie. He just never expected it. Sebastian's army to form and Seth's roar never to mellow till he found his son. Cars, lights, and lies. The smell in Sumner County is foul, in my opinion. We are going to bring him home. Please reach out to Robert McGuire, 615-736-5151, the city attorney. We're going to go by what Nancy says about the Ellen Greenberg case, since you can't contact those certain agencies, don't seem to respond to us or want to get involved or whatever the case may be. She said to contact the city attorney, United States Attorney's Office for that city, that area. And so I thought, well, maybe that's what we do with Sebastian. We'll try that. He's only been in office since December, and maybe he would like to help get some movement. Get the marshals in here, and his name is Robert McGuire, 615-736-5151, or the link that I put in the chat. And we're going to bring him home. We will not give up till we bring him home. Yes, Caroline, you are so right. My address is crimetimebuzz@gmail.com. You all stay safe. I will see you tomorrow. Until then, keep keeping on. Know your surroundings, and please stay safe, Sebastian's Army. Talk to you tomorrow. Prayers up for all.